Everyone, in this video tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to use the text engine tool in After Effects. So the first thing you want to do, you want to make sure you have a folder on your desktop, call it week 4, create an After Effects document and save it into that folder. And again, make sure your composition setting is 1280 by 720, especially if you're working on smaller computers. And I'm going to make my duration like 30 seconds and 30 frames. And I'm going to go ahead and say okay. So the first thing we want to do, we want to create a new text layer. And I'm going to actually just type in my name. So you want to click on the text layer, and you see the basically the program is ready for you to start typing your name. And you have a whole lot of options here. It's very similar to Photoshop and Illustrator, so you can change color, and if you want to edit the text, you double click on the name and then you can highlight it, and you can change the color, change the size, and so on. So it's again, you can use the alignment tool. You can basically track your text. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as it is, and I'm going to click the V tool to get access to my selection tool. I'm going to go ahead and open up its layer option, and as you see on the right hand side, you'll see an animated button, and you see an arrow, which means that there are options within that particular engine. So for this text engine animator is different than all these transform tools that we've been using. So if you want to animate text, you do not want to use the transform tool, at least not for the most part. So I'm going to go ahead and click animate, and I'm going to choose position. Now I'm going to open the drop down for rangefinder, and immediately record the current position of my name. And as you could see, this range selector should be 0, 100, 0. The first keyframe should be 0, 0. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move my name to the top. I'm going to go ahead and move my name to the top. That's 0. So now the setting is 0, 100, 0. And this one I can just put minus 100 actually. Maybe 200. Actually, I just put 300. Now, so it's range selector on your very first set of keyframes should be 0, 100, 0. And for this one, I put 0 for position and then typed in minus 300. Now I'm going to move my time indicator to a different place in time and make a keyframe for my offset to be 100. So now this is what we have. So, and it's moving very slowly. If I want it to move faster, I can just bring it closer together. So now I'm going to add additional attributes to this. And now once you have one animator engine, to change other attributes, you want to choose this add option. You do not want to have 2 animators or 3 animators for one text layer. It just adds a lot of confusion. So I've changed the position. Now I want to rotate. uh, my name, the letters as they come down. So if I choose add, I can choose rotation, and I'm going to actually let me just move this a little farther away. And you see under rotation, I'm going to say rotate it 3 times before they land. So the rotation is just the first number. I changed it to 3, and now you see the letters fall down as they rotate. I can keep adding additional attributes. So I'm gonna again go back here, and I can navigate using these letters, these arrows. I think that makes it a little easier. So I'm gonna add another option. Maybe we'll add scale. So maybe it's bigger and then it just gets smaller as it falls down. Maybe I'll just put it to 100, let's say 150. Okay, so now you'll see as they fall, they get smaller. Again, I can just go back and add to this. Maybe we'll add, maybe I'll just add from here. Okay, we'll add opacity. So now see that it's basically it's 50% opacity, and as it falls, it becomes fully opaque. So let's see, what else do we want to add here? We can add blur. So with blur, I kind of like to unlock the blur option and maybe just do like a really extreme blur, like 300 maybe. So you can see based on the 3 keyframes that I had, I can create a, kind of an interesting animation without having to make keyframe for every single letter. So this is extremely powerful, this search engine. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what else we can add to it. And we can also add wiggle. So if I do the wiggle, you see that it completely just sort of randomizes the letters. It's a little extreme, so maybe I won't add that. If you want to delete something, let's see, you can just highlight it and press delete. So the last thing, let's see if there's anything else we want to add. Can add tracking, and this one maybe we'll do like a lot of that. So now that you see that the letters are moving from right to left. So this is extremely powerful for animating text and not having your computer work too hard, because it just works off the first 3 keyframes that I created based on the position.